So I'm going to ask a contrarian question here because the standardization, I'm assuming on the best practices, and you said evaluate the gaps and fill in the gaps and different things, but you've used the word standardization many, many times over. In one respect, that I completely understand. The other, it makes me feel like, where's the creativity? Where's the innovation? Where's the, I'm going to roll with the flow. I'm interviewing somebody and maybe the standard questions on the interview don't apply like they should. And I'll give you an example. In the contact center industry, there used to be lots of standardization right now, exactly what the agent should do. And it was so standardized that there wasn't any latitude. And here the agents were taking in questions that standard scripts didn't really cover, but they were being held accountable if you've got to stay on task. So, where's the balance in this? The benefits of the standardization, but also the ability for hiring managers in VP talent acquisition and anybody who's doing the hiring to allow them to have the creativity to interview in a way that they feel is necessary based on just maybe the dynamics of what's happening in that interview at that moment.
That's actually an amazing point. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Having a standard process allows you to not only be more creative, but to ensure that the basics are covered. So, for example, when it comes to starting interviews, I like my team members to have a structured approach. The one that we've been using recently is to introduce yourself. We're all remote, give it insights into where you're working from. Maybe you have a dog in the background and whatnot, just to ensure that everyone is aware. Now, the standardization of that is an introduction. However, because it's standard, you can be creative and leverage real world insights to provide more of a personalized touch. And also, when it comes to building systems, especially structured interviews, when you're starting from zero, there is quite a bit of work that needs to be done. And so you might build a interview framework that allows you to get insights into a specific skill set. I would highly encourage you to leave room for innovation. And by that, I mean continuous calibration, where the goal is to take a candidate to the boundary of their knowledge and then see how they react to that at times. And if you're taking that approach, then there are going to be follow-up questions that you don't have written down as part of your initial question. But because you're using a structured system, those follow-up questions will actually be shown on your feedback and review. And through the continuous calibration process, they may actually be added to the interview as a standard practice. So with subject matter expertise, the times individuals have specific knowledge base and allowing them to share that knowledge base, allowing the interviewer to go deeper as much as needed, using again a structured approach, I find allows for creativity and really puts everyone at ease because the interviewers are aware of what they're looking for. And by setting expectations with the candidate and what you're actually looking for prior to the interview, they can better showcase that skill set.
Well, I imagine, and you tell me that there's also a bit of comfort in a standardization process. The team kind of interviews, or people within the company, the hiring manager, people on his team that maybe are going to help interview this candidate, they're not professional interviewers. That's not what they do. So they get into these interviews and it's kind of like, let's talk. But if you can give it some structure, then there's an approach that is simple that they can just follow and that they know is going to help them get better results. Is that part of this? Is it part of this is helping people know how to interview, know how to ask the right questions, give them the confidence that they're actually going to do it well, they're going to get the right results, and the whole system, the whole process is going to work better. Do you get that comfort zone, I guess? Is that a benefit coming out of this?
100%. The nuance of this is when you're dealing with really seasoned folks, they have a calibrated gut. So they can tell you that, hey, I believe this person, because of the way they've answered X, Y, and Z, are a fit. But at times it's hard for them to teach that. So by creating a system that allows others to be trained on how to ask questions, how to not ask leading questions, how to focus on specific aspects, how to dig deeper with follow-up questions, you enable for a broader group dynamic and learning. And I call it calibrating your gut. You want these seasoned individuals that are SMEs to take the same approach as the other folks so that over time, there's an equalization where we all have the same alignment on, hey, this is what good looks like. This is what we want to bring into the organization. And this is how we know what good looks like.